Ako si Attorney Darwin Cañete, and my program is Pugad Vloggers, aired every Monday to Friday from 7 to 8 p.m. dito sa Radyo Bandido, simulcast on DZRJ 810 AM, on Sky Cable, Channel 224, TV Plus boxes, and on free-to-air TV, facebook.com/DZRJ 810 AM, and our official YouTube channel. Nood po kayo!
Pugad Vloggers, ang kurap titirisin, salot sa bayan wawalisin, walang sasantuhin, ang saya-saya nakakabaliw, kasama natin ang tropang Pugad Vloggers. Pugad Vloggers.
Ayan, good evening ho mga kapugad. This is Attorney Darwin Cañete. Ako po yung host nyo ngayong Friday night dito sa Pugad Vloggers. Pasensya na kayo sa medyo audio natin because we are here in Quezon City because I had to attend a very important family gathering, no? Konting occasion. So anyway, welcome and have yung mga nanonood sa atin. We are live here in Facebook, no? Live streaming, no? Nandun din po kami sa radio DZRJ 810 AM radio. Meron din po kaming channel 224 dito sa cable, and meron din po kaming YouTube channel, no? For those who can download the app, Radio Garden app, no? Download niyo po for DZRJ 810 AM. So very limited lang po yung device na ginagamit ko ngayon, so I really cannot interact with all those who are on the feed. But good evening, salamat sa inyo for joining us, and I hope you would spend 1 hour with us discussing several things that, you know, comes to my mind. Okay, sawang-sawa na kasi election, so basically there's no point in rehashing a corpse, no? Ibig sabihin, sawang-sawa na kayo pag-usapan sinong nanalo, anong bakit natalo, ano yung mga campaign strategy. Sawang-sawa na kayo. We're moving on from that because na-proclaim na po si President-elect Ferdinand Marcos Jr. or the second. And of course, his Vice President and his Vice President-elect Sara Zimmerman Duterte Carpio. So, what do we talk about now? Well, we're moving forward. What are the lessons of the Duterte administration that will be moving forward, and what will be some things that may be changing, no? Anong mag-iiba kung sakaling pag-upo ni President-elect? First of all, ang things that will certainly be adopted, public knowledge naman, no? Is that build, and an economic team that emphasizes growth. We have several appointments that have been announced. Ben Jokno was announced. Hindi si Chel Jokno. It's Ben Jokno of the Bangko Sentral. He's now been appointed Secretary of Finance. We have from the NEDA, I think the economist Sir Baliksasan. And we have, of course, the other Sir Medalla, no? The incoming Sir Felipe Medalla. All of these are from the UP. They're all UP trained economists, no? But they have other degrees aside from the. May iba po silang mga qualifications bukod sa economist po sila. Meron silang mga doctorates. They had very long tenures sa mga finance sector, very well respected. In fact, there were several statements already made by the several economists and businessmen, no, that are congratulating the President-elect for his choices of economists. So, moving forward, predictable ho yung magiging trajectory ng economic plans because these people are known and well respected, no? So yun and very 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 indicative. Ang maganda ho kasi talaga dito ang pinaka high profile na naging appointment sa unang ah, round ng mga magiging cabinet ni President-elect are economists. So basically, we are hearing the message. May message po dyan that the economy comes first. Okay, it's a different priority. The priority from the previous administration, the ending administration of President Duterte, was that crime and drug war. Okay, that was at the very beginning. But this one, ang emphasis dito based on the early round of appointments to be offered is economy, overseas workers, because dalawang appointees are Tuts Ople, no? Okay, and I forgot the other one, but two other appointees are for labor. So labor and economy. So it's going to be an economy-driven administration. It will be livelihood, stability, financial stability, which are very, 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 very strong messages. Hindi na to, this will not be driven by, this will be a technocrat-driven administration. Kasi most of the appointees are known as a stable and reliable names, no? So, yun ang magiging thrust dito. Stability, continuity. So we will expect more projects that are infrastructure-oriented. We have policies that are conservative, growth-oriented. And then what we're going to have is, of course, less emphasis on, marami nag-criticize kasi, no? Na the drug war. Pero hindi naman din inabandon yun. Because according to the latest news, mga balita, is that the outgoing President Duterte, spoke with the President-elect, and they agreed that the drug war must continue. And there's a counter offer on the part of the President-elect to offer the position of leading the drug war to the outgoing President Duterte. So, hindi pa babayaan yun. It will not be abandoned. The drug war would continue, but perhaps the leading style ng incoming President-elect. But it will have the material input from the outgoing President. So, that's good news, no? Yun ang binoto ng tao, eh. Yun ang kanilang desire. The desire of the electorate, the 31 million voters who voted for President-elect Marcos, was for continuity. Diba? Nagustuhan nila yung outgoing president programs, which included strong drug war. And now we see the incoming President-elect adopting the principle na kailangan ituloy yun. Now, of course, there might be adjustments because syempre iba yung tinatawag na emotional investment ng President-elect. The President-elect is concentrated towards economic, technocrat-driven, no? Looking at the country na kailangan niyang priority is recovery. And meron din siyang aspiration. What is the aspiration? He promised, or at least trying to move towards this promise, na the price of rice, yung bugas, will be bought, which is a staple food ng Pilipino, will be brought down to 20 pesos. Okay? So that would be the emphasis of the incoming president. So what else do we expect? The other appointments that pumasok is we have a appointee who was from San Miguel. I forgot the name, no? But definitely DPWH, no? We will see that is also a signal. Being an executive, dating DPWH now, I forgot the name, I'm sorry. I cannot recall off the top of my head. But sabi sa akin, former top executive from San Miguel. And in that case, pag former from the San Miguel, and then dating DPWH, you see the synergy. Both public and private big infrastructure projects are coming. No? So that hopefully that will push the project that we all kami me in particular are supporting, which is Parex, the Pasig Expressway. We will also continue the build strategy of President Duterte, which is to say na we will see more airports fixed, ports, yung mga daungan ng barko, mga roads repaired, bridges, flyovers, hopefully train depots. So we'll be extending the road network of the Philippines, yung mga aayusin natin. So more large projects, more, how would you say, more places for our people to migrate na hindi nakakoncentrate sa urban areas. So we're talking about urban areas that have been congested because of overbuilding, concentration of jobs and opportunities. When you build more infrastructure, when you build more places where people can travel fast from one place to another, wala nang incentive to centralize in urban areas, so you spread the growth. Pag ini-spread mo ang growth, hindi masyado siksikan. The population density will thin out, no? Medyo ninipis. And when you do that, mas comfortable yung work-life balance ng ordinary citizen. Kasi, di ba, pag siksikan kayo, the pressure on building hospitals, police crime, no, magkakaroon ng population pressures. But if you spread it out, hindi masyado masakit yung allow people to live a much more healthier life kasi they're closer to less dense population areas. So this is good. That's good news. Again, kikita mo yung synergy ng mga appointments. There is a plan. There is a pattern to the appointments. And that emphasizes growth, that emphasizes economic boom, no? May projection talaga. A lot of people would criticize the president-elect for not being explicit because number one, he's really more of a manager. He went to Wharton. Okay, so nag-Wharton yan. So from Wharton, he was able to get and then over the years, he had training as a governor and then senator. So yung viewpoint niya is really more of a manager, a person in charge. He knows the big picture. Wag natin gawing, one-for-one comparison between the outgoing president and the president-elect. They are playing to different skill sets. Magkaiba ho yung skill set niyan. Magkaiba din po yung viewpoint, what is needed by the Philippines. But we both agree that these people are rational and intelligent and they listen to the experts. President Duterte kept Sunny Dominguez, kept Art Pugad, Carl Kendrick Chua. Those are his superstars of the economy. Yun ang mga kanyang. So basically predictable, basically stability, conservative fiscal policy. Okay, kita natin. We expect more of the same, but with a different team, no? With President-elect Marcos, the NEDA chief was formerly the NEDA chief of Noynoy. Okay, and yung Ben Jocno was an appointee of President Duterte who transferred from the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas to here now at the Department of Finance. So again, institutional knowledge, yung ibig sabihin, merong continuity. Walang masyadong radical na policies. No surprises. Because money thrives on stability, predictability. Hindi ka magninegosyo sa isang lugar na biglang mag-shift ng mga policies. You are going to be in a place, you're going to go to a place where your money has a reasonable chance of growing. Diba? So, ganon. So, maganda. Political stability. Well, let's face it, malaking bagay na the Vice President-elect is partido and very, very well respected by the President-elect. May synergy. You saw the proclamation, di ba? Yung mga pictures. In the pictures, you see President-elect Marcos and Vice President-elect Sara Duterte, Carpio. Yung nagbibiroan, clingy, sabi nakita ko isang photo na parang clingy si President-elect kay Vice President-elect. So, they're having fun, they're relaxed. Maganda yung, you expect the Vice President-elect not to be ambitious for power. Hindi tulad nung nakaraan na there's always been the possibility of instability dahil parang feeling mo may ambisyon yung Vice President-elect na palitan yung nakaupo. Di ba? Kasi yung Vice President-elect, when she went to the UN, anong ginawa? Nag-speech, kinall out si the newly elected president. Di ba? And nagbigay pa ng figures that took large attention from growth programs of the President Duterte. Yung sinasabi nilang 27,000 killed in the drug war. That was early in the term of the President Duterte. I don't see that here. Kasi first of all, binigyan ng very, very vital. Si Vice President-elect na mismo nagsabi, the Department of Education. Department of Education is very, very vital. Ang ginawa ng kabila, nung nalaman nila na si President-elect will be Department of Education, paninira. Kesyo daw babaguhin ng ROTC, militarization ng campuses, ganon. Which is wrong. Because that's not how it works. The ones in charge of the ROTC is the Department of Defense in relation to the CHED. College yan eh. The DEX is only, na Department of Education, is elementary, the primary years. So kita mo, bad propaganda. But anyway, although nagsabi earlier in the campaign that she prefers Department of Defense, she accepted that this is where she's supposed to play in the cabinet. So maganda, the humility, the synergy is there. So you're seeing the president and the vice president working together, magkasama, magka-team. They're not gonna put down each other. Hindi sila magsisiraan, hindi sila magbabangayan in public. If they have any particular thing that they want to sort out, they will expect mag-uusap yan with utmost trust. Yun ang hindi natin maibigay dito kay outgoing Vice President Robredo Trust, because early on sa term ni President Duterte, there was already hints that they were preferring regime change. Diba? Malakas pa yung input nung nasa Amerika. Diba? Malakas pa yung kanilang mga sinasabi nilang bibigay ng mga tulong sa mga mag-aaklas, diba? Yung mga rally-rally, yung mga ganon. Yun ang doon yun ang inaalala ng marami na supporters ni President Duterte. They cannot trust. Hindi na maalala. Hindi makapagpatiwala. Until the very last months of the administration, hindi sila bigay ng tiwala kay Mrs. Robredo. That's why, nung elections, if you look at the trust ratings, President Duterte is leaving the administration, mag-aalis yung administration niya with the highest trust ratings. Diba? Ang taas-taas ng trust rating. Pero tingnan mo si Lenny, tingnan mo si Mrs. Robredo, anong trust ratings? Even below zero, negative. The lowest of any public official. Why? Diba? Why is she so disliked? Nag-carry over yun sa election A lot of people nadala nung hype ng mga artista, ng mga endorsers, etc. But she never got the trust of most of the voters because she was very, very habitually obstructionist. Palaging kontra, bida-bida. It's always promoting herself at the expense of the government. Palaging pinapamukha na ganito ang gobyerno, masama, etc. Diba? Kung bubuhat ng sariling bangko, mahilig i-promote ang sarili, in fact, mainstream media has transformed from reporting to being her diary. Yun ang sabi ng ibang opinion. And that's the problem there. They have transformed her personality from a politician to somebody who is more of parang wini-worship na eh. Parang sinasamba na. Parang kita mo yung mga variations nung pagtingin sa kanya ng media. Kulang na lang eh mag-alay ng ano sa kanya, mag-alay ng bulaklak na para siyang santa, 'di ba? It's so disconcerting that that her supporters are building a cult of personality around her, 'di ba? And obviously 31 million Filipinos are uncomfortable sa ginagawa ng ganon, 'di ba? Ito yung mga ultra elite, super hardcore niyang supporters na kulang na lang lagyan siya ng gawin ni Robredo. Okay? And I resounding, very, very decisive saying that ayaw natin ng ganun. We should never do that to any politician. Di ba? So what now? What are now the prospects of the Dilawans moving forward? Decimated sila eh. Aside from Risa Ontiveros, whose strategy was not talking in the last 2 to 3 weeks of the campaign. Di ba? Walang binanatan si Risa, tahimik siya nung last 3 weeks, nakalusot eh. But she was the only one. Most of the people who won the elections are either administration candidates or supporters of the Unity Team. So wala, decimated yung ang senatorial lineup nila. 71 out of almost 80 governors went for BBM. The majority, 90% of the mayors also went for the Unity. That includes municipal and city mayors. Sa Metro Manila, wipe out. Wipe out talaga yung numbers against Mrs. Robredo. Overseas votes are overwhelmingly Unity. So all this propaganda, all this image building of the pink Lawans obviously did not work. Wala, hindi bumenta, hindi kumita, diba? So what the Unity did was old-fashioned political campaigning. They got the local government executives to be on their side to deliver the votes, which is why most of the highest votes are in both rich areas. All went for the Unity. We're looking at Mindanao. We're looking at Balance Luzon. We're looking at Metro Manila. We're looking at provinces like Batangas and Cavite. And of course, the holy grail, the holy grail of the vote-rich provinces, Cebu. Talagang all of them went for the Unity. Diba? Except for the home bailiwick ni Mrs. Robredo, which is Bicol. And even then, kahit nanalo si Mrs. Robredo sa Bicol areas, hindi malayo ang agwat eh. There are still a substantial number of voters who went for the Unity in the Bicol areas. Tingnan mo yan. And look at the demographics. Tingnan mo yung demographics ng mga voters. In the voters na for BBM, it cuts across all demographics, A, B, C, D, and E. But very emphasis sa D and E. Ang laki talaga ng lamang. Those are the large percentage of the DE crowd voters went for BBM. In terms of social classes, that is very significant because sinasabi ninyo that, uneducated, masa, easily gullible, allegedly gullible voters from the DE crowd, kaya sila pumoto because madali silang maging victim ng misinformation and disinformation. But if you look at the voters, the demographics of the voters, substantial number of A and B voters voted for the Unity Team. Breakdown mo yung Makati area wherein you have Forbes, Dasmariñas. Hindi malayo yung gap. And these are the enclaves of the rich. Ito yung mga mayayaman. Ito yung mga educated. Ito yung mga nagtapos with graduate degrees. Diba? So you really cannot just profile. Hindi mo pwedeng i-profile na ganitong klase lang ang voters na Unity Team. No. The voters of the Unity Team cuts across a lot of social classes. Even those that are markedly preferring Mrs. Robredo. hindi malayo ang gap with Ferdinand Marcos and Sara Duterte. And in some areas, even Sara Duterte beat Kiko Pangilinan. We're talking about the AB demographic. Ha? Now, we're looking at the 18 to 24. Ito yung mga bata, sinasabi nilang mas politically woke, no? Mas engaged. Overwhelmingly, uniteam. Overwhelmingly. So, saan ngayon yung nanggaling yung mga Google Trends, ek nila as to, the voters, the young, the university surveys, the train surveys, all this silly thing that they use in order to project na a certain segment, lalo na estudyante, the first time voters will go for the pinks. No. The voting based on the LILO, the Publicus, the SWS, Pulse Asia, breakdown na kanila mga respondents, all went for Uniteam. Except of course for the geographic bailiwick of the pinks dito sa Bicol region and in certain parts of the Metro Manila. Yun hindi ganun ang results eh. So, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen. That's the all the myths, yung gawa-gawang kwento, all the delusions that the pinks have this particular demographic and this segment of the population captured na sa kanila na talaga. Fake news. Wala talaga, guys. As in zero. So, what now? Where do we stand now? Anong assessment ng Dilaw? Where do they move on from here? Because the next round of elections is 2025. Di ba? That would be the last term of certain senators. And na nila, nagta-term out na. And last time, 0. 2019. These are the 2019 candidates. Sino like for example, you are talking about, sino ba to? Pilo Hilbay, Horan, 2019. Maroas, Horan, 2019. Sino pa yung mga to? Samira Guto, Horan, 2019 and 2022. All of them lost terribly. Diba? Sino yung, in 2022, merong mga second timer na tumakbo with higher profile like Ibot Teodoro. Diba? Harry Roque was parting almost every day in social media. Sino ang number 13 to 14? Herbert Bautista, who has not held a position since 2019. Diba? And anong main strength niya, aside from his impressive experience and background? Uniteam siya. So, you expect the same kind of bloodbath, the same kind of avalanche that will be waiting for the pinks in 2025. Remember, yung approval rating ni Digong translated in 0. 0 candidates, senatorial slate of the administration in 2019. And that was with a 15 to 6, mga 15 million number of votes. Diba? Kung totoosin, minority vote. Pero overwhelmingly, mas malaki doon sa next in line, Maroas. Pero minority. Diba? Mga 30 plus, 34, 35, 40%. What we're talking about here is the numbers of Bongbong Marcos of 31 million plus, translating to more than 50% of the total voting population. Kung masasabi natin na the mandate of President Duterte was formidable, lalo na ito. We're talking about a majority vote, not a minority president. Majority vote when for the unit team. Are we expecting the military to support regime change with those kinds of numbers? Wala. You're talking about You're talking about PPCRV validating the numbers. Walang irregularity. You're talking about uncontested numbers. Uncontested yung naging canvassing ng Board of Canvassers doon sa Congress. This is a historic presidency. So, wala na. And if President Ferdinand Marcos II or Jr. magdi-deliver yan ng kanyang promises on the first 3 years, yung major niya, and he really didn't promise so much. No, he didn't promise so much. Ano lang yun eh, unity. Call it ulit unity. Unlike President Duterte, whose electoral promises was, he will end the drug war, the drug problem within 6 months. President-elect Marcos never did that kind of rhetoric. Diba? He's more of a sabi na natin na atmospheric, yung atmospheric, yung more of general direction, but nothing specific. So, if we have at least modest or moderate growth and walang big scandals within the next 3 years, his set of candidates, shoe in yan for 2025. And what does that mean? That you have now 2 successive presidencies and 3 successive senatorial midterm elections where the Dilawans have no substantial growth in numbers, voters, and elected officials. So paano yan? They will be increasingly irrelevant in the national conversation. Nobody is going to talk to them about alternative programs. Nobody's going to talk to them about opposing major policy initiatives. They're not even going to be part of the debates whose points of view will matter. They will just be there. Para na silang, alam mo yung fringe group. So, from 2010, and it's 12 years later, the majority party, the Liberal Party, who dominated elections in 2010 to 2016, as of 2022, nearly wiped out. Nearly zero. Di ba? Think about it. 70 plus percent, 70 out of almost 80 governors, unity. 90% of the LGU heads, mayors, municipal, metropolitan mayors went with the unity. Majority of the winning candidates in the senators are either unity or administration bets of President Duterte. 2019, halos lahat zero opposition candidates won. So, anong magiging setup sa darating na administration? You probably have a minority group in the Senate of 2 people. That would be Coco Pimentel and Risa Ontiveros. A minority of 2. In Congress, the usual critics, yung mga, yung mga masasabi natin na maiingay, like the Makabayan groups, halos wipe out. Meron pang suspended proclamations because of the pending case disqualifying them. So anong matitira sa Congress? Unity. And some alliances. Who is now set to be the next congressional Speaker of the House? Lahat. Near unanimous. Even the prospective Speaker of the House, Jimmy, all conceded. Lahat binigay. Alam mo kanino? Incoming Speaker to be Martin Romualdez. No opposition. Zero. Wiped out. And that's Congress, where the initiative to put the national budget, to argue the national budget comes from. Sa Senate, dalawa na lang yung halos opposition. The opposition lost terribly in 2022. Trillanes is out. Pinay is out. De Lima is out. Chelchokno, not even. All of them wiped out. Nery Colmenares, not even in top 20. Diba? It's, you look at the electoral picture. That's the incoming presidency that you're looking at. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody's in the same party, more or less, or aligning with the main party. The president and the vice president elect are good on good terms. Di ba? Di ano sila eh. Kasundo, walang open conflict. There's not even an issue where they are divided. Di ba? So that's it. Wala. And this will be the same thing 2025. And then if Sara Duterte, Vice President elect Sara Duterte, does well. Sa kanya 2028 sa kanya na yan. Predicted ko na yan. Sabi nga nung isang si Solita Monson, di ba? I'm betting. Parang pusta niya doon. Or some K-pop stans would say, I'm claiming it. Di ba? Kini-claim na natin that the next vice president, the next one who will assume the post, who will succeed the outgoing President Marcos would be vice president. His vice president, Sara Duterte. Inevitability. As inevitable as the sun will rise in the morning and set in the evening. Not ano doon. That is the calculations you have to make. So, anong natitira dito? Yung mga ampalaya, people who really cannot yet accept the new order of things. And that will be their loss, no? The president-elect has extended his hand. Tinataas na niya yung kanyang kamay na, look, you can reach out, we can build this nation. Ang team ng entire party is unity. Unity. Magkaisa tayo. Wala nang kulay. Diba? Wala nang pink, wala nang pula, wala nang green, wala nang blue, wala nang white. Iba-ibang kulay. We will now be building a country. Tapos na yung partisanship. Tapos na yung identifying yourself based on your political choices. And we suffered through that. We suffered through cancel culture. We suffered through businesses being boycotted because they preferred a certain candidate. Ganon. And that's very un-Filipino. That is very ano po yan, tayo bilang Pilipino, hindi po natin ugali yan. Hindi po natin dapat gawin yan sa ating kapwa Pilipino just because of political choices. Kaya yung mga absolutists sa atin, yung mga mahilig magsabi, you're voting against my future, ganon. Those are the hysterics of an immature mind. Diba? That's not how politics works. Hindi po zero-sum game yan. So if I were the opposition, gusto ko makabalik sa pwesto, gusto ko makabalik sa power, gusto kong maging, if I want a career path in politics. You're looking at the Marcos Duterte onwards, that excludes, that will give them no chance to come back. If I were them, kung ako sa kanila, take a serious look at proposals, yung mga proposal for constitutional change. Alam niyo po, kung kayo po ay natalo man sa eleksyon sa parliamentary system, hindi po kayo zero kasi meron kayong tinatawag na shadow government, the shadow cabinet na tututok sa bawat issue at department na kung saan merong nakaupo na administration, candidate or official. Hindi po kayo zero sa power, hindi kayo zero sa pwesto. Meron din kayong voice in the input of policies. So tingnan niyo po yun, the federal parliamentary na pinangungunahan ng ating kaibigan si Orion Perez. The proposals are there, they make sense, they are more democratic. Kasi remember, under the presidential system, na-wipe out kayo for 2 successive presidential elections and 3 successive senatorial elections. Okay? So, magkakaroon kayo ng blankong future unless you change the constitution to allow for federal parliamentary government. So, yun. I'm sorry I cannot read all the nag-message sa ating tonight, no? Because, again, I'm using a mobile device to talk to you. Pasensya na, I talk fast and I talk tuloy-tuloy. That's the way I deal with topics. Anyway, kumusta kayo dyan? So, hi, good evening sa mga nanonood, kung sino man kayo. Well, so what's next now for us sa people? To be honest, just enjoy the ride. Honestly, enjoy the ride. You pick a very, very good set of elected officials in the national. To be honest, ako din, masaya ako nung naging number 1 si Robin Padilla. Not because, alam nyo, palagi nyo tinitingnan ang titulo. Hindi tinitingnan nyo yung mga tinatawag nilang resume. But if you look at it, no, ang gusto talaga natin is for candidates to represent. What does represent mean? Yung sila ang mga ngatawan ng gusto mo. Right? Gusto mo. Now, what you like and his qualifications do not necessarily go together. Hindi magkakapareho yan. Pipili ka ng matitulo, mapipili ka ng maraming natapos, maraming dinaanan na pwesto. Pero kung kontra naman sa gusto mo, ba't mo iboboto? 'Di ba? Yun ang problema nung sinasabi nilang Chel Jokno versus Robin Padilla. Why would I vote for Chel Jokno? He represents or he will vote for proposals and policies that do not align with what I want. Gusto ko ng federalism, ayaw niya ng federalism. Gusto ko ng constitutional reform, ayaw niya ng constitutional reform. He represents or he has a set of positions that are incompatible to what I like. Whereas Robin Padilla has stated programs and principles that align with what I like. So, hindi ko tinitingnan yung kanilang resume, hindi ko tinitingnan yung qualification. Tinitingnan ko whether they will deliver on the kinds of programs, policies, and laws that I want. I already made up my mind. Na-fix na ho yung utak ko kung ano yung gusto kong lumabas sa Senate and sa Congress. Ngayon, hindi ko hinahanap yung ma-impress ng academic credentials mo. Diba? Ang hinahanap ko ho, sundin mo yung gusto ko. So yun, doon napunta yung boto ko kasi ito yung gusto ko eh. Diba? Alang nga iboboto ko yung magsusulong ng ayaw ko. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So there it is. That's for me. That's my rationale for that. Let us not concentrate on the titles, the credentials. Let's look at why the people voted for certain things. Boboto ako ng tao na magpo-forward, magpo-push ng gusto ko. Hindi yung magmamagaling pa sa akin. Ma-interesa sa voter is not grounded on your impressive resume and credentials. It's grounded on the kind of proposals that you and issues that you are championing. Di ba? So kung gusto ko ng federal parliamentary, gusto ko ng constitutional reform, gusto ko ng baguhin ang sistema. Palagi nyo kasi sinisisi ang sistema. Sistema dito, sistema doon. Merong proposal itong nanalong number 1 senator proclaimed si Robin Padilla. Meron siyang proposal. The proposal is federal constitutional change. Yun ang pinush niya, yun ang tinulak niya. And he also represents the Muslim population. Maganda ang PR niya doon. Maganda yung kanyang relationship with the Muslim community, whose representation is almost zero in the Senate, which is a crime, no? They make up a significant portion of our sectors and population. Ito Muslim Mindanao population and various Muslim communities all over the Philippines, in Quiapo, in Baguio, in various communities. So why do we not at least elect and guarantee one senator from the Muslim community? Diba? So, nag-converge. We have a senator who represents the Muslim population, their viewpoints, aspirations, and gusto nila. we have a senator who represents, no, represents federal parliamentary constitutional change. Di ba? Hindi ko kailangan yung resume ni Chel Jokno diyan. Ang kailangan ko is the commitment sa policies na gusto ko. So, yun, end of argument. I'm happy that Robin Padilla won as president-elect, as senator-elect of the Republic. And finally, of course, let me take the opportunity to congratulate ko the incoming PCO Secretary Trixie Cruz Angeles, Rose Beatrix Angeles. Congratulations sa iyo, my dear, my good friend, Attorney Trixie, who was one of the most intelligent lawyers there. Never mind yung mga naysayers like Rappler, Karen Davila, mga ganun. Don't pay attention to them. Ano lang yan, either bitter, inggit, or they see that na hindi kanila malulusutan. Diba? So we have to understand there's a new sheriff in town and that her name is Trixie Cruz Angeles. The bullshit of mainstream media in becoming gatekeepers of information, yung mga gusto nila na sila lang masusunod, silang may access, 'di ba? Sila yung mga oppressively wielding the power of publication. These people are the ones who are always making yabang, I belong to this network, I belong to this channel, ako 'di ba? These are the forms of media abuse, no? Abuse by the media, not abuse of the media, abuse by the media. Na gusto nila sila lang napapakinggan, sila nasusunod silang mga bida-bida. They have no limitations on their arrogance, their the way they treat people because they have a public platform, they have a public meron silang town square, no, mga megaphones, no, and they reach millions of Filipinos. Yun ang pinagyayabang nila, and they get away with so much because of what they can do to tear a reputation. Yun ang ginawa nila kay di ba, the Rappler was created to facilitate the downfall of Renato Corona, but that's my personal opinion. So anyway, 7:54 na po mga kababayan, so I will wrap up my program tonight. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry I cannot interact with any of the people there in the chat, the narrative, the tawag nito, the comment section of the broadcast kasi I'm using a limited device, but I hope you can hear me, no? So anyway, I'd like to greet my co-host here in this program, si Attorney Tom Berenguer, Mark Lopez, who was with me kanina sa isang wedding of Angelo Jeronimo. Sir, congratulations on your wedding. We also have Doc Ethel Pineda, we have Maricar Serrano, Nick Nangit, sometimes guests, Professor Van Ibiernas. Special greeting to, of course, our good friend Sas Roganto Sasot, who was celebrating her birthday tonight. I'll see you there later, Madam Sas. Pupunta ko kami. I just finished this program. Also, I'm greeting my wife Wilma and my two kids, Grayson and Sophia. So ayun, I hope you enjoy your Friday night. We have ended the electoral exercise peacefully, accurately, and yun, let's all unite. Let's all unite, mga makababayan. So, this is Attorney Darwin Cañete. Good night po from Pugad Vlogger. See you na Monday next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Pugad Vloggers, Pugad Vloggers.